Hi everyone, Grant K here for the Flame Premium Learning channel. In the previous video, I introduced the timeline effects and the Reactor 2.0 processing engine. This video will cover the application of timeline effects in the sequence. These concepts will be familiar to existing users of Flame Premium and Smoke Advanced. But there is also new functionality that is worth knowing, so keep watching. To add a timeline effects to a segment, there are two methods. If nothing is selected and the positioner is over a segment, this will receive the timeline effects. If you have selected a segment or segments in the sequence, then the selection will receive the timeline effects. To call up the effects ribbon, you can either click on the effects button and the effects ribbon will appear next to the button. Or, if you hover near a segment and press Ctrl-Tab, the effects ribbon will appear above the segment. To call up the effects ribbon using Smoke Advanced, press Shift-Tab. You can now click on any of the timeline effects tools you would like and apply them to the segment. If you wish to bypass the effects ribbon altogether, you can map keyboard shortcuts to the various timeline effects tools. There are already some assigned to the Smoke Advanced by pressing Alt followed by the number. However, there are currently no keyboard shortcuts assigned to Flame Premium. Please press Ctrl-Alt-F8 to call up the keyboard shortcuts, and you can assign your own preferred shortcuts from there. Now, once the timeline effects has been added to the segment, you can see them in the effects pipeline, and you can also expand the video tracks to reveal the timeline effects on the segments. The mini toolbar below the effects pipeline can do quick adjustments directly in the timeline view. To get into the advanced editor, you can click on the editor button, double-click the effect in the effects pipeline, or just double-click the segment in the sequence. Now you can tweak your effect. If you have created a timeline effects that you want to mute, just click on the blue LED of the effect in the effects pipeline. To delete any timeline effects, you can just grab the timeline effects either in the effects pipeline or in the segment and drag it to the bottom of the interface. You can also hold Alt and click on the timeline effects in the effects pipeline to remove the tools. I'll just add a couple more timeline effects to the segment and change their settings in the mini toolbar. To switch the focus between the different timeline effects, just select the effect in the effects pipeline. The mini toolbar will update accordingly. Now, looking at the effects pipeline, the flow of the timeline effects is left to right. To rearrange the order of the timeline effects, click and drag the timeline effects and drop it before or after other timeline effects tools. Your viewing results will change depending on the timeline effects order in the effects pipeline. Now, if you want to copy the effects pipeline of this segment to other segments, it is also quite gestural. Hold Ctrl and select the segment with the timeline effects, followed by all the other segments you want to receive the effects. Now multi-select the effects in the effects pipeline using Ctrl and drag them to the selection. If you just want to copy one timeline effects to a segment, you don't need to do any selections. Just drag and drop the timeline effects. So everything that we have done is kept within the sequence in the timeline view. In the next video, I will show you a few methods how to create timeline effects presets. We will look at examples using the desktop, as well as the preset button available in every timeline effects. This is extremely useful for iterating as well as versioning tasks in Flame Premium and Smoke Advanced. Comments, feedback and suggestions are always welcome and appreciated. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the Flame Premium Learning channel for future videos.